Well, welcome to another episode of Coronation, Communication in the Time of Coronavirus. I'm Naomi White in Brisbane, Australia, and tonight I am joined by Raffy Cartledge in London. How are you, Raffy?
I'm very well, Naomi. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Raffy, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a nutritional therapist and a journalist, and I live in London, just in the suburbs, Wimbledon. Wimbledon tennis is not happening this year, so
No.
it's very, yes. Things are okay. They started out quite badly. I was extremely worried. I lived the whole situation of the coronavirus and what was happening in Italy, because my whole family is in Italy, and it was extremely worrying. But now things seem, there is an opening, things seem to be getting better. There is some hope at the end of the tunnel, and things are being handled quite responsibly here too. It seemed at the beginning I was a bit worried. The people and the government weren't as aware of what was about to hit them, but now it seems like they've taken full awareness and the measures that are in place are working. So things are getting a bit better. Yes.
Okay. So how has this situation affected you, your home situation, your business?
So the situation has affected different clients in different ways. Well, apart from interviewing for my journalism business, but for my nutritional therapy business, I was seeing clients face to face and doing follow-up online after the first face-to-face meeting. Or I could do other face-to-face meetings after the first one if they preferred or if they were available. Obviously, this is out of question now. So I'm seeing some clients for the first time online. And this is the perfect time for people. For some people can't handle it, but other people have decided to take a handle on their health and do things that they wouldn't have time to do otherwise, which is to have a nutritional therapy session online. It's a bit different. The first time you need to get to know the client and talk about lots of things. So the first online session might take a bit longer than the first face-to-face session, also because you need to try and understand physical features or ask questions, ask them to look at their own tongue and figure out the color and everything else. So, but it is lovely. We all have a bit more time, so it is nice to take it a bit easier and go through all the aspects of their diet, their life. Nutritional therapy has a lot of consideration for lifestyle. Stress and lifestyle have a huge impact on what we eat and our health, so that is a big part of what I look into. So it is, I would say it's a perfect time to have. Yes.
I think for myself, when I was in my normal life and I'd be racing out the door early, it would have been a lot harder to think about doing things differently. Like now is the perfect time to go, actually, I think I want to make something more nutritious than perhaps what I would have had at work. So that's the business side. So a lot of it's just moved online. And personally, with everyone under everyone under the one roof, is that working okay?
It wasn't at the beginning, because I have two teenage sons and my husband and a dog, and I had to impose some rules. And now things are getting a bit better, so I don't have to ask all the time, can you please do that? For the first time, one of my children said, do you need help? Which was very never happened before ever. So things are starting to work after an initial very difficult 2 weeks. Things are starting to work now, and we are reaching a new balance within the house, and we are starting to appreciate being together. Not always, but we have good moments.
That's good. So what advice would you have for people right now who are going through this, wherever they are in the world?
So at the moment, this happened to me too. We tend to go towards comfort food. We can't, as in some countries, they can't even go out and walk. They can't, obviously we're missing all this, the social contact that we as human beings naturally need. So comfort food is very comforting. And chocolate gives a lot of magnesium and it relaxes. So it is a natural instinct to go towards chocolate and comfort food. So I would say that that is a natural thing that we do, but it's not ideal at the moment. We want to try and support our immune system, and we want to try and keep the blood sugar level as constant as possible, because if we intake something very sugary, not only do we impact our immune system, sugar is not good for our immune system, but also we have episodes, hyperglycemic episodes, where the blood sugar goes high, and after having gone really high, it goes down, it crashes down. And when it crashes down, that's when we could also feel down. It's not just a physical chemical reaction, but it has a big impact on our mood too. So in order to keep a stable mood, in order to keep balanced mood-wise during the day, we need to look at what we eat and look at the amount of protein that we take in through the day. So we should have a bit of protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And there is a specific calculation of what people that don't have specific pathologies should intake in terms of protein. It should be 0.83 times the number of kilos that we weigh. And that would be in grams, the amount of proteins that we have to divide between breakfast, lunch, and dinner in equal amount, possibly. That is a big help. And the other thing that I recommend is intaking as much vegetable as possible. The sky's the limit. The minimum should be about 5 cups of vegetables, which is minimum. In reality, should be higher, but minimum is 5 portions. Each portion could be about 80 grams of vegetables. All sorts of vegetables, colorful. Each color has a different property. And juice, if you can't get that, do a lot of juicing. Start juicing now. If you have a bit more time, you're at home, start experimenting with different types of vegetable, juiced vegetables, and that will give you the support, will give you enough magnesium. A lot of people are talking about celery juice and how it's impacting their health positively. Celery has potassium, folate, vitamin A, vitamin K, which is very important also for bone density. So I would say add and reach a minimum amount of vegetables through the day, which is a minimum of 5 cups. Spread the protein.
5 cups. 5 cups of vegetables a day. That's a lot.
That's a minimum. That's a minimum. Then reach.
Sorry, you go.
Reach that amount of proteins. Keep well hydrated. A minimum of 2 liters per day through the day, not all at the same time. Absolutely through the day, and you'll see that not just your health but your mood will be impacted positively by these small changes, and your body will start craving good food. So if you add vegetables, lots of vegetables, the right amount of healthy proteins, your body will want to go towards that rather than crave comfort food.
Okay, and is there a special, just as a lastly, is there a special breakfast juice or smoothie that you recommend that everyone could try that would make a big difference?
So in the morning, I have a hard time in intaking the right amount of proteins. I'm Italian. We do not eat breakfast in the morning, or we have a croissant or a little coffee usually, and that's not ideal for health. So I have managed to intake the right amount of protein. I'm just not hungry in the morning, but so I make myself and the rest of my family a big smoothie that has blueberries, a nut milk. I put some organic blueberries, and organic is something else which is extremely important. So blueberries and apples have soft skin, and they should be organic. Mm-hmm. Fruit or vegetables with harder skin, for example, avocados, yes, it's better if they're organic, but it's not as important. Bananas, better, but not as important. But soft skin, fruit or vegetable should definitely, if possible, be organic. And so I mix some blueberries, a couple of bananas, some organic apples, and nut milk, and I put protein powder. A scoop of protein powder is usually 20 grams of proteins, which is in average, ideally, what each of us should have in the morning. So I put as many scoops as the number of people sharing the juice. At the moment, I'm also adding a bit of vitamin C, powder vitamin C, and I mix it all up and force it down everyone's throat. They love it. They love it. It's really yummy. I sometimes put a bit of pineapple that has the anti-inflammatory bromelain, or I try to vary the fruit, but I always put blueberries and always a nut milk and always protein powder.
Okay, fabulous. I'm going to make that tomorrow morning. Well, Raffy, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you. I look forward to it too.
Thanks, Raffy. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.